Good evening. Welcome and thank you for joining us for our fourth annual virtual open house. My name is Jennifer White. I work with the Undergraduate Student Recruitment Office of the St. John's campus. The Recruitment Office began coordinating this event in fall of 2020 as a way to reach out to the prospective students at a time when we were prevented from meeting face to face. And even though we're back in classrooms and communities throughout Newfoundland, across Canada, and around the world, meeting with prospective students, this event is a valuable addition to what we do to provide insight into the programs and student experience at Memorial University, regardless of where you are, and allow everyone to do so from the comfort of your own home. So, over the next 3 nights, we're going to do just that. And we'll encourage everyone to make the best use of their time to explore all the various sessions that will be held over 3 nights, but also ask questions. We really encourage you to be involved, be an active participant in these sessions. Before we start, though, I'd like to begin the virtual open house event with a territory acknowledgement. If you're not familiar with this practice, territory acknowledgements are a way to share space with Indigenous peoples throughout the weaving of Indigenous protocols into university procedures. Territory acknowledgements prompt us to think about our relationships between Indigenous peoples and institutions. So we acknowledge that the lands on which Memorial University campuses are situated are in the traditional territories of diverse Indigenous groups. And we acknowledge with respect the diverse histories and cultures of the Beothuk, Mi'kmaq, Innu, and Inuit of the province of Newfoundland and Labrador. We strive for respectful relationships with all the people of this province as we search for collective healing and true reconciliation and honor our beautiful land together. I'd like to encourage everyone to think of the ways their life and work may contribute to decolonization and reconciliation. While students at Memorial University in the future, I also encourage you to learn more so that you can recognize and acknowledge the pre-colonial history of this province. Now I'd like to take a minute just to provide a quick overview of the entire event this evening. We'll start with a panel of experts. So experts that I work with very closely are student recruitment officers, and then we'll move on to 3 separate program and admissions sessions. One for international students, one for Canadian students, and that are residing outside of the province of Newfoundland and Labrador, and one for those students in the province. We will have presentations covering information on 3 of our Memorial University campuses, the Grenfell campus located in Corner Brook, the Labrador campus in Happy Valley Goose Bay, and the Marine Institute located here in St. John's. And then over the following 2 nights, on Wednesday and Thursday, we'll open with a student panel each night and then have sessions covering 10 undergraduate academic units located here on the St. John's campus. In addition to the academic unit sessions, we've added 2 unique sessions to this offering of the virtual open house. On Wednesday night, there's a session with representatives from the Registrar's Office and the Student Experience Office that will provide an overview of all the supports and services that are in place to help you transition to becoming a Memorial University student. Then on Thursday night, along with the academic unit sessions, we'll have a session with representatives from the Academic Advising Center, as well as the Career Development Office, providing advice for those that are still exploring their program options and have not yet decided on an academic path. For a full list of sessions and to choose the session you want at any point in time, you can return to the landing page for this event, and we'll pop the link to the landing page or to the sessions in the chat so you can do so. And don't worry, if there's 2 sessions that are happening at the same time, you'll also be able to return to the landing page in a couple of weeks and actually see the recordings from this event. I can see that they already have their videos on. So we'll start with our first panel. This panel, I've invited 3 student recruitment officers from the St. John's campus who've been traveling all fall, connecting with prospective students to provide some of their knowledge to help students who are transitioning to university life. I'll start by having them each introduce themselves, and then we have a small selection of questions that we've set aside just to give them a little bit of their knowledge to pass on to our students that are here joining us this evening. So I'll start with Jen Dion. Do you want to introduce yourself, Jen?
Hello, everyone. As Jennifer said, my name is Jen, and also so does my lovely little Chiron under my video. I am a student recruitment officer at St. John's campus, specifically domestic. I do spend most of my time in Nova Scotia or New Brunswick, but I've recently been able to do some more Newfoundland stuff as well, so I might have seen some folks from around Newfoundland more recently. My educational background is in a Bachelor of Arts with a major in English and a minor in Gender Studies, and then I went on to do a Master's of Gender Studies after that. And I've ended up in a few different positions here across the university. I started off at the Blunden Center, which is the accessibility services on campuses, and then I went on to the Center for Teaching and Learning, which was like online learning. And yeah, I think that's a good little summary about myself.
Okay, so we'll now move on to Satra Kasuma to introduce himself.
Thank you, Jennifer. And thanks, Jen. My name is Satra Kusuma. I'm one of the international student recruitment officers at Memorial University St. John's campus. I manage multiple regions, including the Middle East, Latin America, and several countries in South Asia. I completed my degree in business at this university as an international student. During my undergraduate studies, I was involved in various international clubs and initiatives. Little did I know that back then that these experiences would lead me to work in international higher education. I've been at the university for over 6 years, during which time I've held multiple roles, all within the international sphere. I'm delighted to be here this evening and talk about Memorial University and what we have to offer to students. Thank you.
Excellent, thank you. And finally, Mahar Madoyan, who's joined us just recently, but is not new to Memorial University, to introduce himself.
Thank you, Jennifer. So my name is Meher Mardu, and I'm a domestic recruiter here in St. John's campus. I've been covering Western Newfoundland, PEI, and Ontario. Some of you might have seen me on the road. I have a BS in marketing and advertising and a master's degree in management. I also have 2 HR certificates, and I'm currently doing my leadership certificate here in St. John's through Marine Institute. I've been in St. John's for the last 2 years now, and I was working with the career centers. So I did advise a lot of career students, and I just recently, as Jennifer said, moved to the recruitment side as of September 2023. And I'm glad to be here having some conversation with you guys.
Excellent. So as you can see, our recruiters have a lot of experience under their belt, not just with recruiting and speaking to students prior to when they attend Memorial, but also as students themselves and working in other offices throughout the university. I myself am an alumni of the university. I have of Memorial University. I completed a Bachelor of Science in Psychology and Biology, and then also went on to do a program within the Faculty of Business, my MBA. I've been working at the university for quite a while, have moved around a little bit in various positions with the Academic Advising Center, career development, and other positions within faculties and schools, but I have been with the Student Recruitment Office for the past 10 years. So we have a little bit of knowledge to hand on to our students who are thinking about coming to Memorial. So I'll start with the first question, and we'll just go through each of our panelists that are here. Jen, maybe you can get us started. For students completing high school or secondary school, regardless of where they are in the world, what's a piece of advice you would give them that would help when moving towards their post-secondary studies?
Yeah, I think that's a great question to start off. Um, I think what I would recommend is to not be afraid of like trying out new courses and subjects that you might not have been familiar with in high school. I know that sometimes that like within like high school curriculum, you don't always have like as many choices within a very broad amount of programs to work with. To meet graduation requirements, of course. So I really like to say that explore those options, especially early on in your program when you have a lot more wiggle room. All those electives that you can get in, do them earlier so that you can get a feel for what's out there. And you can kind of maybe find something that you weren't expecting to find. I mean, I always thought that I was going to go in one direction with a minor in French. Turns out not what I was into at all. And it turns out that I should have tried gender studies courses earlier. And I actually really, really liked folklore. And those two things would have been never on my radar at any point. And it kind of has shaped my whole academic career, were two courses that I don't want to say mistakenly took, but took on a whim and just needed to fill credit slots and was like, oh, these are actually like really awesome. And I would love to study these things more. And again, I would not have had that opportunity had I not been open to just trying something new and making something fit. But then it turns out that I, very much liked them and wanted to continue doing more courses in those areas, even if I didn't necessarily major in folklore or anything. I did take almost all of my electives in French and then folklore, whereas I still ended up majoring in English and gender studies instead. So sometimes you have to be open to the new adventure, if you will.
Yeah, absolutely. Get out of your comfort zone and try something new for sure. Mahar, do you have any advice for students who are looking at post-secondary studies and making that transition?
Yes, as Jen mentioned, when I was doing my recruitment in Ontario, when I asked a lot of students, what major do you want to study? And they said, I don't know. And I told them, I don't know. It's a perfect answer also, because we have around maybe around 200 or maybe less, might be mistaken, that we have undecided students that come to us and they have the choice, as Jen said, to take any new course or any course they might be interested, and they might change their mind, because we also have at the Career Center a workshop called Design Your Life, which will help you navigate your job in your careers, or what courses you want to take or what career you want to take. It's a 6-week program that helps students who are undecided in terms of what they want to accomplish. And as you know, Jennifer, students can take as many courses as they like. I believe it's 60 credits till they make a decision where they want to end up in their academic as a major. So you have an option. For me personally, I took an elective way back in Lebanon when I was studying HR course. And I really enjoyed the HR course, and that's how my master's was in HR, and that's why I ended up in recruitment, because I never thought I would be there. I thought it would be marketing or advertising, but again, there was a lot of opportunities for me to take, and I really enjoyed it because, again, at age 18 or maybe 17, you don't know what you want. Some they know, which is very great. They want to be engineers, they want to be psychology or nursing. That is great, but there are still some students they don't know what they want. The university can offer you an opportunities to take some courses they might be interested, and with the workshop of Design Your Life will help you navigate that. So I encourage students to take advantage of that workshop. And again, we have academic advisors that can also help you navigate in your academic journey if you are undecided.
Awesome. Lots of people to help along the way. Satcher, what about from your perspective? Any advice you'd want to pass on?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think thank you, Meher and Jen, to share your points there. Those are very important points. And I'd just like to add one piece of advice from my end is to encourage students to start learning about time management. Unlike high school, post-secondary education, oftentimes requires a more significant amount of self-study outside of the class hours. However, it's equally as important to develop good time management skills to balance your university coursework, extracurricular activities, and your personal life. If you spend too little time for yourself, you are more likely to experience burnout. So that's why I would recommend for students to be active around campus, look for initiatives to volunteer or work. That way, this will help you grow personally and at the same time connect with your fellow peers on campus as well.
Yeah, awesome. Satya, maybe we'll start with you then for the second question. What do you see as one of the biggest myths that students have prior to entering post-secondary education?
Yeah, great question there, Jennifer. For myself, one myth that I would like to mention, which I often hear as well when I'm on the road, is your major determines your career, which I would have to agree. But at the same time, while it's true that your field of study and at the university can influence your career path, it's not the only factor. Many graduates end up working in the fields that are unrelated to their major. So I believe what plays a major role, in addition to what you study at the university, are the skills and experience you gain during your 4-year studies. So connecting to my previous point, so try to get involved, try to be active. And I think that through those experiences, you'll be able to determine or explore various career path or even job experiences that you might want to get into.
Yeah, oh, great. Jen, what about you? Do you have a myth that you hear over and over when you're talking with students that you'd like to kind of give a little insight into?
Yeah, I think a lot of folks feel like they have to know every single thing before starting out. That really it should be like a base level of knowledge, basically. But we're all coming from different walks of life and don't always have the same foundational knowledge about what the next steps are or what the next potential thing could be. So I think that I one like that as a myth that I would like to bust and be like, hey, there is somebody here for you to help you through the process, and that we don't assume that you know everything, and we're really happy to be as granular as you need us to be. And that's what we're here for. Like that's literally what our jobs are. We're like professional question answerers. We're kind of like like a knowledge bank that you get to access. And if we don't happen to have that information, we know somebody who does. We have lots of great connections right across campus, and we can always summon somebody who has our answer. So even if we have to say like, hey, we don't actually know that right off our heads right now, we'll find you the answer. Well, somebody out there knows, and we'll find it for you. So we can't really help you that way unless you ask. So we are, as long as you're looking for us and asking us questions, we can get you those answers, because we do know that you don't know every single answer, and that's totally cool. And we're pretty friendly, I would say. So we're not going to judge you for asking any kind of questions. There's no stupid question here. We're just, friendly, happy people looking to give you a hand.
Absolutely. And for those that aren't already connected with a undergraduate recruitment officer, before we move on to Mahar, I would like to say that by registering for this event, you'll actually be put in contact. So you'll be added into our communication plan. You'll be put in contact with a student recruitment officer. And like Jen said, we are here to answer your questions at any point in time. So happy to do so, including at this event. So please get them ready. Mahar, what about you? Have you heard a myth over and over and that you'd like to let students know that, the reality is actually quite different?
Yeah, I would echo the idea that you don't have to know everything from day one. And then if you're ending up choosing one major, that's not the end of the world, and it's not the end of your career, because as we all know lately is that by the time students graduate in 3 years or 4 years, there will be new things happening up in terms of technology, or maybe new markets are opening up, and we always have to reinvent ourselves, maybe take a new course or a new certificate. So with whatever you choose now will not determine your whole life career. As you can see, we've all been diverse from different backgrounds. We added up our education. It's not just one time. And again, sometimes I also hear a lot of students when I was advising is that they were doing an undergrad something different, but they changed and they took a course and now they're doing a master's in totally different environment, which makes totally sense these days. And again, there's other options as certificates are open up. There's a lot of online courses that you can also take. It all depends what you like. And we are here to help, as Jen said. If you don't have an answer, we'll try to find you an answer. But again, ask the question, and there's no stupid questions to ask.
Absolutely not. Okay, so we have a few more minutes left for the panel before we'll move into our admissions sessions that are going to start in 5 minutes or so. What about things that you feel that Memorial University has to offer that might be unique to some of the students that are trying to decide on their their post-secondary institution right now? Mahar, do you want to get us started on that question?
Sure. I would say we are a small community feeling university. Everyone knows everyone. Some classes might be maybe between 60 or 80 students, but as we go more into specific major, it might be very small. I also feel that we help students from day one. Like even if for registering, we have these sessions, we're helping them. And then we have our student experience office that helps them with midterm matters. They do a lot of events. We also have our career centers that help students in terms of finding jobs. We also have on-campus jobs. So I have a feeling that we help students in a bubble. We take care of them like a family from day one till they graduate. And even after graduation, we also can help them with the alumni, with networking. If there's anything happening, we invite them. I feel that Eastern Atlantic Canada Eastern feeling that we have, and Memorial is very great place to come, and St. John is also a great place to have that experience and enjoy.
Awesome, great. Satria, what about you? Some things that you feel Memorial has to offer that are unique?
Yeah, absolutely. I think just as was once an international student, I think our unique geographical locations offer students the opportunity to live and study in a culturally rich coastal environment. Some of the programs that we offer here at the university are also one of a kind. For example, we offer an ocean and naval architectural engineering co-op program, which is the only one of its kind in the world. So as a student, I think you should really truly embrace what the university has to offer for your own university career, but at the same time for your own professional development.
Awesome. Anything you'd like to add, Jen? Oh, you're muted.
Yeah, I would say from my perspective, I would say that one thing that really stood out to me when coming to Memorial myself was that St. John's specifically, which is the campus I would have attended, had the city amenities, but the campus culture being more like community oriented and like small town personality. Even just St. John's as a whole, I feel like we still kind of live into a like a small town personality. And being from a smaller-ish town myself, I was definitely looking for some place that felt quite homey, but had the opportunities to do things that I would never have been able to do otherwise. As well as oceans. We have lots of ocean being on an island. I'm sure there are other universities on islands right across the world, surely. But I could not see myself in a place that wasn't near the ocean. So that really did quickly eliminate some choices there for me. But if you're somebody who likes the ocean, likes being near nature, water, and having a small town caring culture, I think that's what we've got going on.
Awesome. I love that you guys are all praising my hometown, St. John's. Having grown up here, you know, Memorial's always been sort of a part of my life. You know, growing up so close to the university and in the community where the St. John's campus is. I think with you know, unique opportunities, one of the things that I hear from students over and over again is, you know, we are big enough to have everything you need, and have the programs and the options that are available and the ways that you want to choose to go through your programs, but small enough that undergraduate students actually get to be involved hands-on, in that there's many students that are involved in research, involved in, say, the Students' Union, you know, our radio station, our newspaper. I mean, there's opportunities that are there, and students just need to start learning. Like everybody that's here right now has already jumped on that wagon to start learning about their future, which is so great to be so proactive doing that, and just to keep doing that once you're here as well. You know, there's so many great things that the university offers, and I think one of the unique things is that accessibility and that ability to, you know, get on a design team in the engineering department or talk to a professor about research. And then, you know, the next semester, maybe you're working in their research lab, and all of that is available at an undergraduate level as well. So lots and lots to talk about, but we are going to move on to looking at the next part of this session. So we have to say goodbye to Jen and Satria, who will be moving into other rooms. Next, we have our admissions panel. I'm going to pop in the chat for everybody there. What's going to be held in each room. So for those that are applying from Newfoundland and Labrador, those applicants, you stay here with myself and Mahar in this room, in room 1. Room 2 will be for Canadian applicants, and you'll see Jen there, along with an admissions officer. And in room 3, we'll have Satria and an admissions officer talking about information for our international applicants. So again, you can use the link to go back to the landing page and then choose the room that will be most appropriate for the information that you're seeking at this point in time. And then join us after those academic admissions sessions. We'll also be holding the sessions about our Marine Institute, our Granville campus, and our Labrador campus as well, right after that. So I'll give everybody a moment to change around and move rooms, and I'm going to be back as your moderator in just a minute for the next session.